you remember how you learned civics and political participation? Was it the government class in high school or your poli-sci class freshman year of college? Did any of those lessons actually prepare you to decide what political party best fits your values, how to evaluate candidates, or that you yourself could be part of the process? Don't worry, you are not alone. Most adults are in desperate need of a civics education. That's where we come in. Welcome to Sunday Civics. I'm L. Joy Williams.
Thank you for inviting me to the show. I've always heard very good stuff about the show.
I hope you enjoyed yourself, enjoyed the conversation.
Chris, I'm sorry it took so long to get to class.
Stephanie Mills is on Sunday Civics. I can't believe it.
Thanks so much, Joy. Great to be with you. I'm a big fan.
I'm L. Joy Williams, a national political strategist and social justice advocate. I've spent my career organizing, working in government, and on political campaigns. But no matter what position I've been in, I've always found a way to teach people how the system works and how they can take action, organize, and make change.
Yeah.
But since this is your first time on the show, I'm going to start what we do with everyone by you telling us the story of your first civic action.
Wow. Love this question. I've never had it posed to me in quite this way, so you're making me really go deep.
I actually think that my first really serious civic engagement was when I ran for a student body president when I was in the 9th grade.
Sunday Civics is the civics lesson we all need today. We take the current political climate, give you the history and the context to help you decide how to take action. So no matter if you're a politico like me, a busy parent, lifelong student, or a retired person looking to get more involved, join us on Sunday mornings to get the tools you need to get civically engaged.
That's why I love your program, because part of the answer is, I think, to remind people this isn't that hard.
Welcome to Sunday Civics, the home for the civically engaged. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Welcome everybody. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Sunday Civics, the home for the civically engaged. I am your host, your civics teacher and neighborhood political strategist, L. Joy Williams. And I am going to do my best to keep my emotions in check today as this evening, early evening, afternoon, for some is supposed to be all about celebrating this show and celebrating our second time being nominated in the NAACP Image Awards for Outstanding News and Information Podcast. And we have so many people coming up to the front of the class. And I did nothing. I did nothing. You know who did it? You know who did it? June like the month, Moses like the Bible, one of my thoroughest girls who's been holding me down, June. Listen, I can't even, the words are going to be difficult for me today, but I just want to thank you, starting off with thanking you for what's about to happen this evening, because this is all you put this together. So yes, it'll go fine. It'll go perfectly fine. And I'm so thankful for you. I just want to start this off by being grateful, not only to those who listen and will have opportunity to talk about that, but first of all, to you, who was one of the first people that when I said I had this idea and you want to work with me with it, and you were like, yeah, sure. I can assist you with that. And say less. And you have been rocking with me as not only the assistant with the Mostest, but now helping to produce this show. And so you are, the half or the third of what makes this show run. Missing in action is the editor we did bring on afterwards, Paul Wilt, who did that amazing trailer that we just saw. We'll have another opportunity later in the show to see it again. But I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for being like, say less.
So, absolutely. Absolutely.
This is your show.
Yes.
This is
Oh,
your show
okay.
today.
And I'm glad that I don't have to be the enforcer. Usually I have to be the enforcer with people who are getting spicy, who want to get at L. Joy Williams. And I have to be like, no, 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 calm down. So I reached out to some of our road dogs who were here from the very beginning when we were running around with sound equipment in the suitcases, and we were going to people's offices or on the roof of your building where people were sharing their first civic actions and stuff. And you were like, I can't do it by myself. So you gracefully let my crazy self do a whole lot of talking and co-hosting. And then it was like, we need a legal eagle. We need a legal beagle. And what did you do? What did you do, L-Joy? You found us one. You found us a lawyer. Loree Daniel Favors is at the front of the class. She took time out from driving. She has pulled over to the side of the road. We don't break.
I was going to say, make sure she's safe. Make sure she's safe.
Yes.
Loree. So this is the original crew of the Thoroughless Girls when we were pulling stories from the civic docket, and I was trying to give many lessons with what was happening every week. And it was you and June who joined me in the beginning as we tried to educate and organize people. And now Loree big time, she got Daily Show on Sirius XM. So
10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. Let's go. Can I just
say that to be here with my Thoroughless Girls, because Sirius really became a thing with, like, for me, because of Sunday Civics. Yes, because of Karen's show, absolutely, of course. But it was Sunday Civics where the Thoroughless Girls got together on Sunday morning and chop it up in a way that made civics come alive. And to see that video and to think about how amazing you started this whole venture off, and then to see how much you've grown and the show has grown, I brought tears to my eyes. I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, of course, this is exactly what it would be, because it's L-Joy and June like the month, Moses like the Bible. Why would it be anything but this awesome and amazing? And I'm so proud of you. I'm just so glad to be in your village, sis. This is congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And congratulations to you as the show continues to grow. And, I tell you this all the time because, we're actual friends. And life. People, right, like in real life, not on social media. And, people will say, I listen to Sirius all day. I listen to Karen and I listen to Loree and I listen to it. And then people send me messages to you from church and stuff. They do the same thing. Like with Clay too, they'd be like, you tell Clay I said, and I'm like, we don't live together though. Like,
I love it.
But thank you so much for working with me early on. And one day we're gonna get together. I'm gonna be on your show more frequently because I know you ask, and then we keep forgetting.
Listen, but I'm gonna work with the producer now. I'm skipping past you. I'm going straight to June like the month, Moses like the Bible, my Thoroughless Girl. I'm going straight to where I need to go so we can get you on Loree Daniel Favors show more. But I mean, we celebrating our 3rd year, and we are following the greatness of you and all of everything that you pulled together, and just making civics sexy and exciting and something that people are happy to know about, eager to know about, and ready to employ and put into action. You are our civics teacher, my sister. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And now you be safe. So you can continue to drive. I appreciate it. June, who else you got up in here?
Okay, so also in the very beginning when we were doing this, there were these 2 lovely ladies that did their first civic action on the roof of the building. They've been there from day one. And you know what they have? An organization. You know what that organization does? Make sure that Black women are supported and guided through running for office. And this organization, Higher Heights for America, is dope, fabulous, lit, all of those descriptors. But we want to bring to the front of the class right now Glenda Carr and Kimberly Peeler, the 2 ladies, the heads of Higher Heights. They powered so many of our segments, and without that power, we couldn't go like the choo-choo train we are. So thank you, ladies. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank you.
Oh, no, okay. So you started off with the heavy hitters with, my girls in real life, like in real life. So Glenda and Kimberly, when I was looking at earlier pictures of us in our, days of the three.
The package.
The package, as we are called. And again, just as you all called on me in creating Higher Heights and was like, we're doing this thing and we need you to serve as chair. And I was like, all right, say less. When I came to both of you and said, I'm starting this show and I need you to tell me the story of your first civic action or do this. And y'all were like, say less. And some of the early episodes of the show were talking to the Black women that Higher Heights was supporting across the country who were running for office. Glenda, thank you.
Well, I also remember, because I've been looking at photos when we were all squeezed up in the XM radio studio.
Yes.
For one of our first in studio, before the pandemic.
Yes.
And so again, I think we echo just very proud of you and taking a vision and just bringing it to higher heights.
I like what you did with that, Kimberly.
Absolutely. I mean, Joy, I remember when you brought your first microphone to the office, because back in the day, the three of us actually shared an office. So we're friends.
In a tight office.
Yes, in a very tight office. I think you climbed over me to get to your desk. But I remember when you brought your first microphone and you were like, I have this vision and I'm doing all these things and I'm trying to make sure this thing works. And can you hear me? And all of this. And to see this grow from that to us on the roof waiting for trucks not to go by so you could actually hear what our first civic action was, to just get when you got picked up. I remember that moment. And then to have not once, but twice be nominated for an NAACP Image Award. It's just I'm just so proud to be in your orbit and to have watched this grow. And the impact that it's having, because every day people ask me all the time, why are we where we are in this process, in this government, in this world? It's because they took civics out of schools. People don't understand. They don't know the basics, and what you do each and every week is it's critical to our democracy. We're coming up on the 50th anniversary of the first airing of Schoolhouse Rocks. And, there's generations that don't even know what that is. They may have heard of it, but you're bringing it to life and reminding people of what they forgot and educating folks on what they don't even know. And I'm just so proud of the work that you're doing. And, I love you.
Yeah. And I would also echo that one of the things, and I don't know who June has next, is I got a book for my graduation from undergrad, and it was called Success Runs on Our Race by George Fraser. And so it talks about the power of the network. And so African-American author who talked about the good old boys network, right? And so the notion that, our white counterparts have this network, this very powerful network, which they do. And we can jump on your show next time to really talk about that from a political lens. But the notion that African Americans have the same network, right? It operates different than our white counterparts. I would say in some aspects, it's powerful. Sometimes it's a secret squirrel, right? And when you look at Laree and Joy and, Kimberly and the work that we do with Higher Heights, they're all interconnected. Now, we will get on another show to say that we're all connected by one connector, which is Senator Kevin Parker, but we're not going to talk about that today. But it is this notion that we all understood the importance of Black women's voices in this democracy. And we are all approaching it differently, but we're all interconnected. And so Joy created a platform that allows us and I work at Higher Heights to be able to talk about Black women's political power. We come on, we talk about the numbers. We don't come on as often. Joy will, already gonna like, where were y'all last cycle? I digress on that, but it is one of the things that has moved over the last 10 years of our trajectory as friends and work colleagues is that we've helped create the environment for Black women to vote, run, win, and lead. And shows like Sunday Civics provides a platform for Black women activists, thought leaders, and elected leaders and candidates. And I think that's what the power of this is. And for you to have someone like a Senator Warren in your promo to the sister from around the way that you don't know, but you're about to know, that is what your work has been. And so we're excited about watching you, continue to soar. But I'm going to do the plug. So people got to vote for the
exactly. Exactly.
I know that your listeners are a mosaic of America, but I'll use a Black woman's analogy. When we vote, we don't vote alone. We bring our house, our block, our church, our sorority, and our unions. And so that's what we need to do to help El Joy in these final days of her nomination. But we are proud of the nomination because did y'all see the little thing that's popping up? NAACP Image Award nominated El Joy Williams in the Sunday Civics.
Absolutely. And if you needed a reminder while you are watching right now, you can vote. Voting is open to the public at vote.naacpimageawards.net. And the podcast category is all the way at the bottom. You can vote in the other stuff too, but we only care about the podcast category. So make sure to do that and scroll all the way down. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. It's great to have your friends to come on and celebrate that you're doing and know that your friends, are also the ones that can text you when you're doing too much. But y'all never said any of that. Y'all always were like, who do we need to connect you to? Who do you want to have on? What are the ways that we can use this to help amplify all of our work? And Linda, to your point about using our network in order to do that. And it wasn't just about amplifying one of us or just me. It was about how can we use this space and this audience to not only teach and empower, but also put, like you mentioned, women before others so that they can know their name. So it's not just Elizabeth Warren who but it's all of these other names across the country that would never get the attention, that don't get the CNN, the MSNBC, but we can use our network to uplift them. So thank y'all. Oh. June, you can't watch and MC at the same time. What you do?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, yes. I was like, oh, yes. I got something to do. No, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I am so glad y'all came and took some time out of Sunday. This was so dope. It's like a full circle moment. And y'all continue greatness and dopeness, please. And when I'm ready to run, guess who I'm calling? Because I'm
Oh Lord, we're gonna have our work cut out for us, Kim and Glenda. We run in June. But thank y'all for coming through.
Thank you.
Congrats, Joy.
Have a great day. All right now. So next up, now we all know that we've got the civics and we've got the pilot, we got all of those things, but every once in a while there's a blip in the world and something happens and you need a scientist. The last time there was a blip in the world, we had a pandemic. Everybody was scared. But you know what we got? We may not have had Dr. Kizzy, but we have our own personal scientist. We have our own Dr. Cokie Negra. You will find her out there in the streets. This is our friend. We know her in real life. We've broken bread. I've hugged her. And she is my personal and our personal scientist and puts us on the track so that we're not afraid of going outside. Dr. Cokie Negra, welcome. Thank you so much. And that wasn't the first time. You had been here a time before then to explain like medical stuff or whatever, because we're crazy. We just see what's going on. The news has scared us. Thank you.
Well, I'm old and Black and a Ratchet-ass scientist, and I do try to help whenever I can. I'm always happy to be with you guys whenever I can. I'm so proud know that, the NAACP has recognized you. And of course, I voted as well. I was bugging you about voting.
Yes, yes. The DMs were they were flaming. It's like, why can't we vote for the podcast? Why can't we
That's right. It's
it?
not
And
fair.
it got
Tell me
fixed.
what to do.
And Koki, you were, and that's the other thing that, Glenda earlier mentioned about the network. And during the pandemic, when we still continued the show during the pandemic, and we wanted to make sure that we brought to the table experts and folks who were given accurate information, that were helping people understand what was happening around them, what they needed to do. And I appreciated that you have both not only the knowledge of, the practical knowledge in terms of a scientist and being able to give that information, but then also having done the behind the scenes and policy work as well, and understanding how government interacts with that and giving people a better understanding of how this works. I can say just for me personally was invaluable during that time. Right? To say that, yes, this is how to protect yourself. Also, this is the process of what happens with science and like science policy and government. And here is what we'll need to do, or here what we'll need to advocate for. And I really appreciate you during that time, which was heavy for all of us, coming in and providing that for folks.
Well, it was actually kind of fun. This is the one thing I really know. So it's nice to be able to share that with people. I mean, I did laboratory testing first, and then I did microbiology, and then I did policy. So this one moment in time is pretty much everything I know how to do.
And we appreciate you for it. Thank you so much, Koki. And thank you so much for being a long time for many different iterations of me and a microphone.
Exactly.
And I appreciate that too. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for taking time out on a Sunday. Thank you.
All right, June, who else you got up in here?
Okay, so, we're also powered by the people who listen and who email and who tweet and who go on Facebook and they say things. And then we have some people, they're like our super listeners. Not only do they listen and share with people, but they want to take what they've learned and create situations where they can teach younger people, teach their community and stuff like that. And they reach directly out. And back in the day, if I'm not mistaken, you were Alpha Angel, right? So this is all like, all in the family. I'm not sure. I'm a Cappadine.
Yes. I was just trying to remember it. I was like, did I tell you that, or did you find out? Like, let me find out.
I'm nosy. Yes, I'm nosy. I will find out. It's all good though. I'm going to keep it. Not a bad refrigerator, but still, we're going to bring to the front of the class for the very first time, Brother Charles Houston.
Oh, wow.
Yes. He's taking classes with you when you did Sankofa Summer School with Feminista Jones. He like tweets at me when I'm live tweeting. He's posting on the website to different shows. He's sharing stuff. And his last request was, I'm going to like start to put together some young people, and I want to make sure that we have something that not just that we do a one-off, but we continue and keep going with it. So I am proud to bring you to the front of the class for the very first time, Charlie Houston.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Brother Houston, thank you so much.
No, the thanks is truly, truly yours, because first off, June, Moses, Miss, I love you all so much. And this really is an honor. That was a great introduction. I've never been brought in like that before. And it is because of the work that you all do. Countless Sundays after Sundays. We are down here in Florida. I represent not only the Gamma Zeta Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, who has been doing a lot of work out in these Florida streets to just get people the civic knowledge. And it all comes from what you all have done here. As Ms. Moses said, listen, we are working with our Men of Tomorrow, our mentoring group. And we were like, look, we not only want to impact the adult community, we not only want to impact the young voters, But before they even come into it, as was stated earlier, civics has been robbed from the classroom. So they're not hearing all the information. So to be able to tweet, email, and get a response, because there's so many people like, yeah, hit me up, check me out, and it's crickets. But we get a response. And I just want you to know that here on the ground, that work is being put into action. We had a great, and I can send you the photos if you want to see them. We had a great presentation with the young men from Men of Tomorrow. And what we were able to do on top of that is that now we're doing a field trip to go to the mayor's office, as the mayor is going through is campaigning down here in Hillsborough County, Tampa area to be specific. And it's all based off what I was able to glean from, know from the Sankofa Academy. When you did that episode on, what to do when meeting, or how to meet your local officials, we put that work into action. And we're taking that field trip at the end of March, beginning of April timeframe, where we're taking the men. We're taking the young men tomorrow out there in order to do it. And what was awesome about it was the fact that I lost a bookmark for when you did the episode live. I'm sorry, pre-recorded on Sunday Civics. So I reached out, and June was like, yeah, check out the website. I'm like, there is a website. There's all the rest of this information and everything else like that. But we're able to do it. And it's just, from that, you made sure that we work with our local ground group. So Equal Ground is a grassroots organization down here that we're working with as well to help spread it out. Listen, nobody from Alpha Phi Alpha is getting a W-2 when it comes to what we do in the community and everything else like that. So the resources that you provide, we also have an MOU with the NAACP chapter down here. Yep. So as you are queening it up there with the, with the NAACP, we listening, we gleaning, we writing down notes and things like that. It's like, all right, let's mirror that down here. And so specifically in the wake of what happened during the last election, we're really trying to make sure that we can hold these elected officials accountable. And it's coming down to the fact, it's like, okay, yeah, we didn't vote for these cats, and we know we're not seeing what we want to in the community, but this is where we apply a different type of pressure. This is where we still vote by going to and seeing these people and everything else like that. So at the end of the day, it has truly, truly, truly been an honor to say, I am a pupil of the L. Joy Williams, Sunday Civics, June Moses. And listen, some of the banter, I know we can't say it on here, but June Moses, child, we go back and forth on that Twitter. And it is fun.
Baby.
It is fun.
Baby. Don't go to my timeline.
Listen,
it ain't official.
Listen, even having done over 200 episodes, and knowing that there are people taking what I am sharing and then bringing young people in their community together to train them to be civically engaged before they even have the right to vote.
That's right.
To be able to demand from those who represent them, even if they didn't vote for them, to get the resources and the thing they need for their community. Look, that's what I was called to do. And if it's only, I'm doing all of these 200 episodes just for you, Brother Charles Houston, just for you to engage those young men in your community in Florida, then so be it. I'm going to do every episode like I'm talking to you and them, because that is the exact reason why I created the show. Is I had been through in my entire career, times where I wanted to make sure that people in our community that were perceived to be powerless, I wanted to give them the information necessary so that they can exercise their power, and to know that you are not only receiving that information and learning it yourself, but then not gatekeeping it and teaching it to others in your community is, to me, while yes, I want to win the Image Award, but that to me is absolutely perfect, is absolutely a win for me, because that is the exact reason why I did. I didn't do it for the statues.
Right.
I appreciate them, but I did it exactly for this reason. And I'm so very thankful that you continue to learn from what that we give every week, and then also giving that to others. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I'm gonna try not to cry. I'm gonna go off mic real quick and let June bring on the next person, because I'm about to cry.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
all.
my dear. Thank you.
Thank you all.
I will see you in them Twitter streets,
You
doll.
better believe it. Listen, I gotta make my way up to New York because like I gotta put arms around you now, responsibly, mask and everything else like that. But I mean, it's been thank you. Like you all have set a spark. You set a spark that I mean is going to well beyond us, which is what legacy is. Well beyond us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us now. Okay, so I want you to breathe.
But see, I asked you not to make me cry on the thing. I said, like when we was planning the show, I said, don't. Okay.
Isn't this fun? You're not saying, okay, well, what we getting ready to do is something real fun now because this person's name is a holiday. It's a party. But when we're talking about not being a knowledge hoarder, this person here was on a recent show, and let me tell you, I took no notes. I just sat there and absorbed it all like I was SpongeBob SquarePants because the knowledge that y'all were putting down. Listen, there are people who charge $500 and they don't even tell half of what y'all told for absolutely free.com on the internet, on SiriusXM, and I'm bringing to y'all to the front of the class yet again, Holly Holiday, the fabulous, the entirely lit Holly Holiday. When we talk about strategy,
I was like, who's next? Who's next? Oh, it's me. This is the best.
Oh my gosh.
Sisters.
Thank you so much. They're trying to stop us and keep us busy from taking our show on the road. You know what I mean? We were supposed to be on the road, Holly.
Girl, look, this is amazing. I am so thrilled, proud, excited, all the things people don't know. This kind of show, the love, energy, effort, the care, the responsibility, people don't get how important this is. Really don't get how important this is. Brother Houston, my A5A brother, listen, thank you for doing what you're doing. And I just appreciate Eljoy and June for putting this out so that people like myself and Brother Houston can do this kind of stuff, can share this with the world. Since being on your show, I too have gone back and pulled some different episodes and so tracked kind of stuff you've been talking about. So when I find myself in those spaces and places, which we sometimes do, and the folks want to tell you how it works and don't really have a clue, I say, let me send you a link. I got the link for you. And so thank you for helping me have the link, from saving me from conversations that for real, I don't really need to be in because that's not my ministry. But, oh, Lord, am I glad that it's yours.
Listen, I appreciate it. I appreciate sharing, but really, as I'm sure there are people that come to you with the same thing of how they learn from you. They learn from organizing with you and being trained by you. And, that is the greatest gift, isn't it? Right? That people would apply, what you know, but being able to empower other people to know so that they can make change and concrete change and impact their community. And the fact that it's shared with young people who are often, told that they don't have a voice until they can cast a ballot, which is such a disservice that we do to young people, that we don't engage them in how to use their civic power until they have a vote. And even then, we don't fully give them the tools in order for them to, actually exercise it. But to know that that's how that is being used is just absolutely awesome.
It's true. And it's all the more reason why I need to encourage everybody listening. And for those people that ain't listening, call them up and tell them we got to vote. We got to make sure that Sunday Civics is on complete blast. You see the scroll happening, vote.NAACP Image Awards.net. Don't get the address wrong. Get on there, vote. Not for nothing, but my heart space is with Black women. And so I also just appreciate the level of equity that you bring to this space as well. People think that politics is a male dominated space. And so for you to also provide a platform where Black women are part of it and able to show up in their brilliance is also amazing. I have to tell you, seeing you and Glenda and Kimberly all together in one place again, I was like, oh, wait a minute, the band is back together. Didn't nobody call me to talk? What is happening? I mean,
you
that's
know,
a moment. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
just a moment. And so I'm thrilled. I'm grateful. I can't wait for what's next. I need to be in class next week and the week after. So I'm here for it. And I want to make sure you have 200 more episodes to put in the can for the people, because while you have done so much, and I have to say one interesting thing, and looking through the links, I can always find something to send. But even with that being the case, there's still so much more to learn. And I know there's so much more for the future. So I was happy to be part of the party, girl.
Holly, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I really do. And, you know, as an organizer, as a tactician, you know that a lot of our work, particularly folks who are movement minded, who are connected to our people, right? Who have the meeting before the meeting, and you know that we do that. Like there is information, right? There's information we want our people to know. You know, here's the 5 questions we want you to ask. Like here's what they have the capacity to do, and so to be able to do that on a level that reaches more people than just the 5 or the 100 or something like that that you can bring together. But to do it on a greater level for our community is certainly amazing. So Holly, thank you so much for stopping by.
Bye.
Oh my goodness,
and don't forget to tell people about the hashtag Win with Black Women. Let's go. People need to look. People need to be on it.
First of all, you know, Eljoy gonna be with us. She already know. We done already sent the stuff like, hey, we about to let the network know. She's not just on blast, she's on full blast. So it's gonna be hashtag Win with Black Women. We are almost at 1 billion organic impressions after just 2 years. And we're going to make sure that hashtag Sunday Civics joins us in those impressions so that folks know that they have to vote for our girls. So that's already a lock. We got that covered.
All right. You can always count on your sisters to hold you down. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, June, what are you doing to me?
I'm just trying to put together a decent show. Trying to make sure that we have a good time. And, you know, when you talk about Sunday Civics, you're like, you know what? Okay, people are always feeling things. And I'm trying to tell them you should feel with your hands. But they don't want to feel with their hands. So then you got to bring people on, bring them to the front of the class to explain a topic that people want to feel about, but they don't understand the history, context, or anything about it. So you know what? We had to troll through some of the other some of our other bandmates here on the Sirius XM channel, and we tapped into a lawyer because we like our lawyers here. But we found attorney Alan Orr. And when he talked about immigration and when he broke down what we needed to understand in this moment so that we can get civically engaged instead of feeling ways about new people who are coming here, who are also our brothers and sisters, and we should be caring for instead of feeling ways and going through all of that. He said, no, we can get Alan Orr. Alan Orr he is going to school us on this. So I'm going to bring to the front of the class right now at this very moment, the incomparable attorney on immigration that you need to know all about. And he is your plug, Alan Orr. Welcome to the front of the class.
Thank you. Thank you. We're happy to join you for the celebration of everything that's super important, right? It's the team that makes the dream work. And so it's nice to be with Justice Warriors, as always. It was nice to join you to talk about immigration, as always. And it's also nice to know that this show isn't just for Americans. This show is also for new Americans. So as immigrants come to this country and they want to understand what it's like to be Black, what it means to be civically engaged, I'm able to share this with them so they can grow. So just know that it isn't just for the diaspora. I mean, it's for the whole diaspora than just a small sector of people that are learning from the civics that you talk about and how people can engage in their communities and sort of change things. And in this moment when so many Black immigrants are marginalized and sort of turned away, it is important for the Blacks that are in this country to understand how to get civically engaged, to make sure that we have the same immigrant population that everyone else has and that we're treated fairly across the board. And your show does that every week. I think of Sunday Civics as a different type of church on Sunday before you go do your other worship, if you do it on Sunday. So I really appreciate being part of the show, and I'm a huge fan of everything that you do. And of course, I love June. She's just structured and organized. I was so excited for this. I was emailing her yesterday at 5 o'clock saying, where's the link? How can I get on?
You was a day early because you were ready. Alan, I really, as June knows, when all of the conversations happen, and it's difficult because during the immediacy of issues, whether it be immigration or the economy or different things, I see so much misinformation happening, manipulation in terms of manipulating people based upon fear. And I wanted to really wait until I could pull together a comprehensive conversation about immigration. We ended up having to do it in 3 parts. And we still ain't done, right? In terms of talking about it. But so many folks have said how those just 3 conversations help level set, that when they are watching regular cable news or reading something in the paper, or a random dude on the block is like, yo, they taking our jobs, right? Like that they're able to be like, nah, I have a better focus. I have a better understanding of how things are interconnected and how things work. And I can kind of push back a little bit on it, right? Because I've gotten that baseline, and that's what I wanted people to know. And that's what I wanted to know, right? Like I wanted to have a better understanding and connection. I knew enough to push back on the fear and the creating that, resources for them means less for us. I knew enough to do that, but to understand the connections and the complexity a little bit more with you and with others was definitely helpful. And I appreciate you for saying yes, and for making that work.
Anytime, anything for you, because I think one of the things that my grandmother left me with when she parted this world was she said, let your work speak for you, and your work speaks for you, volume. So whether you win the award or not, you've already won.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, June.
Listen, okay, do you want to take a breather? I'm actually having a hot flash, but
oh
I'm gonna
Lord,
set that to the side because listen, it is.
You want me to kiki with somebody?
No, we getting ready. I've been trying to have a surprise. I didn't BCC on any of the emails because I was trying to surprise you. This person I'm getting ready to bring to the front of the class. Let me tell y'all something. So those of us that have been out there in those Twitter streets since 2008, 2009, we know that sometimes that can be a very tough space, especially when there's misinformation. And when we had the opportunity to elect the first Black woman president, there was a lot of crazy town talk, whether that was your candidate or not. The point was, it was still crazy town discussion. And there was one person, there's another person, but there was one person that I specifically remember. If you're on Twitter, you know, at Black Women's Views. This person would be there day in and day out, and she would lay you out with intelligence and class, but put you in your place because you was wrong. Now, all of her hard work and her hanging out with Clay, who we miss you, Clay, and we know you couldn't make it, but we miss you. All of that has resulted in something that should be happening. Again, thank you, architect Karen Hunter, because I am bringing to the front of the class the newest member of the Sirius XM family. I am excited because she got the energy I ain't got no more. Reese Colbert. Yes!
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Reese. Fresh off of her. Listen, first off of your first weekend in the Sirius XM Urban View family.
Yes, welcome, and I shouted you out, girl, for that NAACP Image Award. I said, y'all vote for L. Joy Sunday Civics for the award. Yes. Congratulations.
Welcome. Listen, I met you for the first time. So, we was on the Twitter streets, but then I met you for the first time when we was stomping the streets in South Carolina.
Yes.
For now, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris.
We put our feet and our money where our mouth is for our girl. And you know what? One of the things to me that's so important about being a Black person who is for the upliftment and advancement of Black people is being there when we have a chance with a credible, qualified, credentialed, and really down for us kind of candidate. And you were there. Higher Heights was there. And it just meant so much to me for a Black woman-led organization to be behind this historic candidate who was really exceptional and is now vice president. So blue, but I really enjoyed our time together. You know, I did come from the Twitter streets. I didn't really come from the political circles, social circles, or anything like that. So just, you know, meeting you in person, and you were just so wonderful, so lovely, and just authentic. And what you do with Sunday Civics is incredible because we need some civics lessons. And not only that, we need to unlearn some of this disinformation and misinformation that's put out there and actually learn the right stuff. And that's what you do on so many levels. So I appreciate you so much. I believe that you are the winner of this podcast news and information category. So you got my vote. I told all my people to vote for you. I'm going to tweet it out as well. But you are so deserving, sis.
Oh, Reese, thank you so much. And listen, I am so looking forward to you are like Clay, because you know I tried to hang with y'all for a few episodes on Clay's show, and I was like, yeah, this I can't hang. I'm not at the level.
No,
because y'all are so quick. See, I'm quick-witted in person, right?
Yeah.
And quick-witted and slick in person, y'all. But I be trying to save people feelings on national radio, because people just get on the radio and they just say any kind of thing about their ignorance, and I'm unable to participate in the display of your ignorance for for all of the people to see and to hear.
Yeah, you know, live, I love live radio because you never know what's gonna happen. But yeah, people do be off the chain a little bit. People come for me a little bit, and that's okay. I come right back for them. So, but I think you do what, and it's funny because Karen asked me the other day, like, what are you bringing that nobody that's missing? And I was like, I would never say anything is missing from Urban View because everybody brings something so special. And it's just like this one big old pot of gumbo that's perfection. And so I'm just adding to it. I'm like, I could say I'm gonna fuck up on lobster tails, a little bit more extra shrimp, but you know, the pot is already potting. The gumbo is already gumboing. And so I think that's what Sunday Civics does for us. It's such a service in terms of just our being really understanding, because the other side is winning. I hate to say, not winning every war, but they are winning. They're racking up a lot of wins. We see what DeSantis is doing down there, and they're starting at the root of what we need, how we need to be civically engaged. They're not just going for the president. They're not just going for the governor. They are leaving no stone unturned. And so what you do with Sunday Civics helps us really understand how we can truly be engaged and be impactful at every level. So I appreciate you so much for doing that.
Thank you, Reese. And thank you to Boss Baby and the family for, breaking away for just a few minutes to participate in this. I really appreciate it. Congratulations again on the show. I'm looking forward to seeing how awesome. I know that you have the capacity to bring that to and keeping people tuned in to Urban View, to our family, to Clay. And look, I want, this is the perfect opportunity because Reese, I know you would join me in this. To say that there are only a few Black women who provide entree, who, sort of open the door, take it off the hinges and give you the resources to shine is not true. There's not few. There are plenty of Black women who do this for each other on a regular basis, just to dispel this myth that, we don't do this for each other.
Right.
But Karen Hunter is a special kind is just a special kind, right? Really because is. her general genuine nature is, how can we do this for our people? how can I make sure I'm not the only one here? How can I recognize the talent and the expertise that you have and just bring it before this audience that I'm continuing to grow and cultivate and, expand. And she's always looking for, how do I bring the best of us, and bring it before us? And I just want to say a special thank you to Karen Hunter for that, because when I started this, I had the humble thing of, I'm gonna have 100 subscribers, and that was like, Reese, that was my goal. It was like, if I can just get 100 people subscribe to the show on Apple, on Apple Podcasts, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And she heard 3 episodes and was like, so yep, come on over here.
Right. I love that.
Come on over here.
I love that.
And she is a special kind, and I will, I'll fight people in the street over her. I will I will continue to sing whether she's in the room or not, to talk about how awesome Karen is for our people, for our community, and for radio in general. So thank you, Karen, because I knew you would join me in that, Reese.
Oh, absolutely. I give Karen so much praise and thanks because, she doesn't have an ego about what she does in terms of passing the mic. I didn't have to kiss the ring. I didn't have to wine and dine. I didn't have to beg and plead with her. She saw something in me as she saw something in you that she valued. And another thing that I appreciate too is you do have people, I don't want to say like Karen because Karen is one of a kind, but you do have people in positions to open the door for others, but they have a narrow range of what kind of person should walk through that door. And what I appreciate is that she sees people of all kinds of flavors and says that is a perspective that we need. So yes, absolutely. I love Karen. I appreciate her so much for giving so many of us the opportunity. Of course, I have to shout out Clay, because without Clay, I wouldn't be on here either.
Oh my God, I love me some Clay.
He's my heart. I love me some Clay. So to me, I feel like for me having the Clay and Karen, two, it's like a 1-2 punch, it's like that combination, watch out.
It's like, don't comfort him, because we will be in the streets.
Period.
Period. Yes. For you, we'll do that. But Reese, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop in and to share with us. I really, really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure, and good luck, sis. Thank you, June.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so glad you answered.
Oh my. So I was surprised. Yes,
Okay.
I was surprised. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, June. And to you and Paul again, for rocking with me week after week when I say I want to talk to this person and you go find them. And look, I know
I have to find
our
Obama,
whale.
and I'm gonna have to go to Chicago, and I really, or wherever he is, sir, I'm coming to find you with the lavabo.
I feel mic. Okay, but I feel like you should probably not say it because I think he still has Secret Service protection to some extent, maybe. So you probably shouldn't phrase it in that manner. But I will say, former President Obama, we are coming for you. As earlier this morning on the show with Sherilyn Ifill, where I talked about my dream is, and I think is to talk to former President Obama and Sherilyn Ifill together, right? Yes. To talk about the Constitution, to talk about, the limits, the constraints, but also the possibilities, and to forge a new path forward. It's going to happen. Now, what I need for folks to do is that when Netflix gets the idea, because they be combing the streets for other people's idea, I need us to activate and be like, no, you can't do this. This got to be on Sunday Civics. But I appreciate you, June, for always finding out when I come up with a topic, when I come up with a lesson, and then we have to go find people who have the expertise, the experience that can come to the front of the class and have this conversation. You always are on it to make sure that we have those folks at the table. And that's really important for the listeners and for the people who are learning from what we present every week. And to Paul, who did this amazing job on this trailer for the show, which we're going to show at the end here. You know, June, I really, really appreciate it. And I saw some other folks in the comments who were part of our early team, Regent Lester Young, who I still point people, and Holly mentioned sending links to people. I still point people to that early episode of Lester Young giving us the foundation of education. And you know, how it was created, you know, private, public, part, all of that, and sort of how it sets the stage for us in terms of public education. It's important even now in this context, as we see state legislatures and others removing certain text from school districts, from libraries and things of that nature. To put into context what the history was in terms of creating public education in this country. And then fast forwarding to our Brown v. Board era and the fights that happened here. But also to think about, as Dr. Carr and Karen say, remembering our history, and remember we controlled our own education, right? It's really disheartening to me sometimes and I think Loree talks about this on her show as well, where, you know, those phrases, they aren't teaching us our history, they aren't teaching us this. And instead of us remembering that we controlled that ourselves immediately after enslavement was abolished, right? Like most of the people who sort of created the infrastructure of Black educational institutions during Reconstruction and after weren't educated themselves, weren't formally educated themselves, but knew enough to create the structure to educate their children and future generations. And it's disheartening to hear people say, they don't teach us, as if they are only responsible for our education. And that takes remembering, right? It takes remembering, while we are also fighting for the equity and resources for public education, is also remembering that we can create our own. And that's, you know, really about using our civic power to make sure those equitable dollars in public education go to our communities in a more equitable way, and not just to our communities to the, you know, and stop at administration, but really go down, you know, to our kids so that they have the resources that they need. So shout out to Regent Young and Dr. Renee Young, who were also among the listeners this evening. And thanks to all of you for voting. You can still cast your vote. I think we have like 2 more weeks of voting in the category. Remember, you can go to vote.naacpimageawards.net and cast your vote for the podcast category, which is all the way down at the bottom of the public voting categories. But make sure you do that. And if you didn't enter your email address, you did not vote. So you got to make sure to get all the way to the end of the form and submit from there. And I really appreciate it. June,
ma'am,
love, thank you.
This is great. No worries. Listen, I'm rough around the edges, but you're the one person in my entire life that let June be June and just handle it and do it. From a girl who, with her friends back in high school, created the Martin Luther King Club, because you're right, they're not going to teach us our history back there in Elmsford, New York, to running the streets with you with recording equipment, however we could, all crunched up on a bus, getting to DC so that we can talk to the best of the best and bring the cream of the crop to the people who are listening. I'm not only the person who hangs with you, but I'm a student. And every success that I have had as a tenant association president here in Harlem, I can attribute to the lessons that I've learned here. Now, I may not do it nice and polite like y'all do, but I do have all y'all's voices in the back of my head going, yo, chill, we almost got this. Just one more step and you got this. And you know what? That one more step and I do got this. We can all got this. So God bless you, Eljoy. Thank you for doing this for us, because people don't recognize the amount of time that goes into producing just 1 hour of good radio, of good media, where you're not where you actually have some places to go and go, oh, this is true. Not just somebody with a cute little whatever and they say it with authority, but it's a lie. So Eljoy, thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Eljoy's family, for sharing Eljoy with us. Because there's little people that you're influencing and they would rather you be home and cooking and playing and doing with them. But you out here in these streets teaching us the civics that we need to know and we deserve. Thank you, Eljoy Williams. I love you.
Thank you. And thanks to all of you for spending this Sunday early evening with us. And I'm just going to run this trailer one more time because it is just so great. And thanks to all of you for helping to celebrate the nomination. I believe I've won, but we'll go to LA. I'll be in LA this weekend for the nominees lunch, and so you can follow me on social media for all of that. But thank you.
Thank you.
It's time for class.
Do you remember how you learned civics and political participation? Was it the government class in high school or your poli-sci class freshman year of college? Did any of those lessons actually prepare you to decide what political party best fits your values, how to evaluate candidates, or that you yourself could be part of the process? Don't worry, you are not alone. Most adults are in desperate need of a civics education. That's where we come in. Welcome to Sunday Civics. I'm Eljoy Williams.
Thank you for inviting me to the show. I've always heard very good stuff about the show.
I hope you enjoyed yourself, enjoyed the conversation.
I'm sorry it took so long to get to class.
Stephanie Mills is on Sunday Civics. I can't believe it.
Thanks so much, Joy. Great to be with you. I'm a big fan.
I'm Eljoy Williams, a national political strategist and social justice advocate. I've spent my career organizing, working in government, and on political campaigns. But no matter what position I've been in, I've always found a way to teach people how the system works and how they can take action, organize, and make change. But since this is your first time on the show, I'm going to start what we do with everyone by you telling us the story of your first civic action.
Wow. Love this question. I've never had it posed to me in quite this way, so you're making me really go deep.
And I actually think that my first really serious civic engagement was when I ran for a student body president when I was in the 9th grade.
Sunday Civics is the civics lesson we all need today. We take the current political climate, give you the history and the context to help you decide how to take action. So no matter if you're a politico like me, a busy parent, lifelong student, or a retired person looking to get more involved, join us on Sunday mornings to get the tools you need to get civically engaged.
That's why I love your program, because part of the answer is, I think, to remind people this isn't that hard.
Welcome to Sunday Civics, the home for the civically engaged.